Hello and welcome to this video called 54 Ways to Relieve Your Stress. Everybody's got stress and we're all looking for ways to relieve it. So if this is you, then keep watching. You're going to get a lot of good tips. And if this is your first time here, then I talk all about holistic wellness, that is aligning your body, mind, and soul with nature. So if that's something you're interested in, then be sure to subscribe. And let's get right into this video. So the first tip I have for you is to meditate. Now you might be thinking, sure, everybody talks about meditation, but I hate it, or I don't want to try it. A lot of people are very hesitant to start meditating, and a lot of people struggle with it. So if this is you, then I do have some other tips in the rest of this video that will help with easier ways to meditate. But if you've never tried meditation, give it a try. The old-fashioned way of sitting in the lotus position, with your legs crossed and your hands on your knees and sitting still and trying to calm your mind. Like I said, there's other ways to meditate, so keep watching to learn the rest of those ways. The next one on this list is to go for a walk. So this, of course, is going to be dependent on the weather, but most of the time you're going to feel much better just getting outside. It doesn't even have to be a long walk. Just 5 or 10 minutes and your stress will be gone, because spending time in nature is one of the best ways to relieve your stress. The next tip is to have a good cry. This might be something that you need to do because we need to express our emotions, and sometimes stress builds up when we don't express our feelings. So if you have been holding anything inside, then let this be your wake-up call that you need to cry. The next one is to bake your favorite pie. So this is obviously something that not everybody can do. You might not have access to the things you need, but if you have a kitchen, if you know how to cook, then it should be pretty easy to bake a pie, especially if you follow a recipe. So why are pies a great reliever of stress? Because when most people think of pie, they think of their grandma or their mom and comfort, and everything is okay, and it will release endorphins in your brain temporarily, of course. But, sometimes that's really all that you can do, is just to relieve your stress temporarily. The next one on this list is to call a friend. This could be something that you would want to do if you have a close friend that you call regularly, because talking to someone that you're close to, it doesn't even have to be a friend. It could be a sister, a brother, a parent, a child, anything like that. Just call someone, and that could instantly relieve your stress, because hearing somebody else's voice and maybe, talking to them about their problems might help you to take your mind off of your stress. The next one on the list is to use an essential oil. There's a lot of essential oils out there that are good for stress relief. My favorite is lavender. The next one is to watch your favorite movie. This is a great one since movies are easily accessible nowadays. Most people have Netflix or at least some type of way to, even on YouTube. It doesn't even have to be a movie. It can be anything. There's even TV shows that are sometimes free. So watch whatever will make you laugh, things like that. Visit your local park. So this is, again, getting back out into nature. And if you live in the middle of a busy downtown area with not much nature, then this might be an option for you to walk to your local park. Maybe there's one within walking distance, or even driving to one. So there's really no reason. Most people live somewhat close to some kind of nature that will help calm them. Hit a punching bag. This one is obviously something that not everybody will be able to do. If you have access to a punching bag, this might be just the thing you need, because oftentimes stress is a result of pent-up anger, and you don't really want to be hitting anything else other than something that can take it, which is what a punching bag is for. So get yourself access to a punching bag if you have any type of anger issues. Go to a library or a bookstore. Most people feel calm as soon as they enter a library or a bookstore. And this could relieve your stress. You might even find a book that will help you to relieve your stress as well. Take a bubble bath. This is one of the most common things that people think of when they think of ways to relieve their stress. So if you have a tub, if you have some sort of sudsy, bubbly stuff you can pour in there, and here's a tip that you can also combine with another tip, is you can add essential oil to your bath as well. Add a couple drops of lavender oil in there, and you got yourself an amazing bath. Listen to music. Of course, this is pretty self-explanatory, and this is what most people think of when they think of, you know, if you just want to relieve your stress, you're going to put on your favorite music, maybe dance or something like that. Amazing, amazing way to relieve your stress. Hit the gym. So there's a lot of gyms out there. Most cities have at least one, and they can be expensive, and I always tell people there are ways to stay in physical shape without getting a gym membership. However, in this case, if you have access to a gym, you know, maybe it'll be just something new that you can explore, and you can relieve your stress in multiple ways at a gym. Many gyms have swimming pools, of course, workout machines, treadmills. Maybe they even have a punching bag, so give that a try. Road trips. These are one of my favorite things to relieve stress because there's really nothing that spells freedom like driving to a new place you've never been before, and that can be a great way to relieve your stress. Go camping. This one is a huge one. I think camping is actually one of the healthiest things that you can do for your body, your mind, and your soul. Camping is healthy in so many ways, so try to get out there. Of course, a lot of people don't really like camping because they don't really want to sleep in a tent. They don't like bugs, you know, for whatever reason. But maybe you can make it some kind of a compromise where maybe you don't go camping for the night, maybe you just go hiking or go to a campground but just visit for the day. A lot of them will let you stay for the day for free. Maybe you have access to a camper. This is a game changer. When I bought my camper, I started to love camping, where before I used to hate it. So it can make all the difference in the world if you can get a camper. And they're not all expensive. There's some campers out there that are only a couple $1,000s. Of course, they're used. Maybe you can rent one, borrow one from a friend. Whatever way you can get out there and enjoy Mother Nature. Earthing and grounding. This is another way to enjoy nature. And earthing actually has a lot of physical, mental, and spiritual benefits, particularly physical, because what you're doing when you're earthing or grounding, you're putting your bare feet on the ground and you're absorbing the negative ions. And what that does is it will relieve pain, it will relieve inflammation, it will help you sleep better. Oh my gosh, sleeping better was the main benefit that I got from grounding. So I recommend doing that as much as you can. The next one is yoga, and this is another one that is really good for the body, mind, and the soul. So there's a lot of yoga poses that are easy. They're not all difficult, so if you're a beginner, then I suggest researching some easy yoga poses to start with. It's a really interesting practice. Stare at a candle. So this is one of the ways that you can meditate without actually forcing yourself to meditate, because when you stare at a candle, there's something primal about that. There's something that goes back to our ancestor days where we sat around fire before we went to bed. And that was what calmed us down and helped our bodies switch into the nighttime mode. So we were not producing cortisol anymore. We were starting to produce melatonin, you know, after the sun goes down. So especially if it's nighttime, light yourself a candle and just stare at it. Great way to meditate. Read a book. So If you don't have any access to a library or a bookstore, maybe you have some books at home, you don't have to go get one, you can just grab one. Maybe you're like me and you have a couple hundred books that you have not finished yet. So let this be your reminder, hey, you've got some books to finish. So reading a book is always a great way to relieve stress because you're taking your mind out of reality, shall we say, and if you're reading a fiction book, it's kind of like an escape into another world, and that might be just the thing that you need to relieve your stress. The next one is to visit a church. If you're not religious, this might still be a cool option because a lot of churches are open all the time, or at least during regular business hours, and anybody can just go in there. They don't kick people out, so you can just go in there and meditate or contemplate. Bring your own book. You know, if you're not religious, doesn't mean you have to pray, but just being in a church is a really relaxing, calming place to be. It will definitely relieve your stress. Go swimming. This is another example of connecting with nature. Just having your body surrounded by water, it's one of the best feelings. I'm sure you've been swimming before, and if you can't get into a natural body of water, like a lake or a stream or an ocean, then the next best thing would be a pool. But pools are not as healthy, of course, since they've got the chlorine, and you're not really getting the benefits of touching your feet on the ground. So whatever way, though, that you can go swimming, great way to relieve your stress. Exercise. So this is more of a general suggestion here, because there's a lot of ways to exercise to reduce stress. So, you know, maybe swimming is not your thing. Maybe you don't like dancing. Maybe you don't like yoga. So do whatever exercise works for you. So some other tips that you can do would be to ride a bike, maybe just walking. There's a couple other suggestions that I have in this video too, but there's literally probably hundreds of ways that you can exercise. Whatever works for you, do that, because the last thing you want when you're stressed out is to feel forced, is to feel like you're under pressure to do a certain type of exercise that you don't want to do. The next one is hiking. This is a great way to get out in nature, and I mentioned this earlier, but this is more for people that are an intermediate level. Otherwise, just walking is good, but hiking is great because you're working more muscles. Hiking is technically, like I said, intermediate ways of walking, but you're doing it on terrain. So you're doing it on hills or just, you know, areas that aren't paved. So you're kind of going off the beaten path. So that's a great way to relieve your stress because you're connecting to nature in a deeper way, because when you're hiking, you're not really focusing on the fact that you're walking. You're focusing on nature itself. Like the scenery is what you're focusing on. And, you know, the fact that you're moving yourself through nature. So you're walking through it. So you have to look down. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. That's another reason why hiking is so great. Spend time with animals. Oh boy, there's really nothing like playing with a kitten or a puppy or any animal that you enjoy, really, because animals teach us how to be in the present moment. Animals don't know how to worry. They just live. They're just enjoying nature and enjoying what's happening. So spending time with animals is a great way to connect with another being, another living thing. And sometimes, you know, if you don't have many people in your life, a great way to relieve stress is to have a pet. So do that if you can. ASMR videos. Now this is one of my favorite things. I'm going to explain what ASMR means if you don't know what this means. The letters ASMR stand for Auto Sensory Meridian Response. And what that means is you get a response in your nervous system, in your body, physiologically, from certain triggers. So when I say triggers, I don't mean things that make you stressed out, obviously. These are triggers that they stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the way that your body gets into the system that your body is in, or the mode, I should say, where you are resting, you are digesting, you are in relaxation mode, your body is no longer releasing cortisol, it's relaxing. So what ASMR videos are a collection. There's a wide variety of these types of things that are triggers. When I say the word triggers, it sounds bad, but trust me, it's not. These are great things. These are things that will calm you and relax you. So I should also say that not everybody will get this response. I don't know the percentage, but you might be one of these people. So just go on YouTube and type in ASMR and check out a couple of the videos. And you might just be like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is so weird. Because really, it's a person doing things with their hands or their voice or with objects, making little noises. It sounds so weird if you don't know what this is, but trust me, if you are one of the people that gets this response, it's one of the best things ever. It's like getting a back rub, because your head and your neck get tingly, and they can go all the way to your toes. Your whole body can be covered in just tingles. And that's why they call it tingles sometimes. A lot of these ASMR people say, good tingles in this video, you know, because there's a lot of good stuff. So I'll stop there. So just check that out. And that's something that I sit and watch them for hours sometimes, because once I find a good one, I just want it to keep going forever. There is literally no stress. Absolutely no stress left. So check that out. Another one is dance. So I mentioned a lot of these exercise type things in this video, but I had to include dance specifically because dancing is it probably is my favorite way to exercise and relieve stress. So it's one of those things that you don't really need much. You just need to have access to music, and you'll find yourself just starting to dance. So great way to relieve stress right there. Your body needs to move. So the more you move your body, the less stress you'll have, because you hold stress in your muscles. And when your muscles become tense, that is what perpetuates the stress. So when you are exercising, particularly dancing, then you are loosening your muscles. Of course, there's a lot of ways to loosen your muscles, and I'll get into some more of those. But I just had to mention dancing because it is one of my favorites, and it's one of the most popular, funnest, probably the most fun thing on this list. Cook your favorite meal. This could go along with your favorite pie. But not everybody's a baker. So if, most people have a favorite meal. If you don't know how to cook, maybe this would be one of those new hobbies you could try. Or just go to your favorite restaurant. Declutter. This one is going to help your mental health so much, because when you declutter, your mind will automatically calm down. When you look around in a space, you're going to see things that your brain is interpreting and your brain is assessing. And the more your brain has to assess, you're giving it so much to do. So if you're trying to eliminate mental clutter, eliminate your physical clutter as well. And this is why minimalism is such an awesome lifestyle, because people that minimalize things, they do claim that it makes them happier. So give that a try. And if that sounds overwhelming to you, start with one room at a time, or even start with just one corner of one room. Because what happens usually is you'll be on a roll. You'll get that momentum and you'll want to keep going. The next one is to create a daily routine, and I could talk about this forever because daily routines is one of the things that I talk about a lot on this channel and on my blog. So creating a daily routine is one of the foundations of good health. So what you want to do is have a morning routine and a nighttime routine, at least, because those are the way that you start your day and the way that you end your day are really crucial to your health. The body thrives on routine mentally and physically. A lot of systems in your body particularly thrive on a steady routine. sleep and eating too. So, and living in alignment with the sun. So, like I said, I've done videos on that, and I'll share some of those for you because I could really talk about daily routine. That is such a big topic. So, the next one on the list here is indulge in a guilty pleasure. So, I'm going to admit that my guilty pleasure is playing Candy Crush. And I blame one of my old coworkers for this because I saw her playing it and I'm like, what are you playing? And she said, I'm playing this game called Candy Crush. And she showed me it and I tried it and I was instantly hooked. I'm not going to talk about Candy Crush, but I'm just basically saying that find whatever that thing is for you that might not be so healthy, but we do need to occasionally, or maybe even every day for small amounts, indulge in a guilty pleasure. The key here is to keep it moderated. Like, you don't want to spend hours doing this thing. Of course, some days we do that, but it cannot be something that you do, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Or even, whatever. So just find the thing that's for you, the thing that you feel guilty about, but indulge in it. Give yourself the permission to do that in small amounts. Write in a journal. Here is another one that I talk about a lot. In fact, I've actually got another YouTube channel and blog. Well, not really blog, it's a website, but I talk about journaling only there because journaling is so important for our mental health. It also has physical benefits and spiritual benefits. So how does this relate to stress? When you write in a journal, you are lowering your blood pressure instantly. So writing in a journal is expressive, it's therapeutic, and of course that's going to help with your stress. So without talking about this for hours like I could, I'll just share some videos or a video at the top for you there to learn more about journaling and check that out. So I'll move on to the next one now, and that is to do a creative craft. So crafts are really cool because they put you into the zone. They're an artistic thing, so they help you to create or to express your creativity. And you're working with your hands, so you're doing things that are going to relieve your stress. They're a great thing to do in the middle of winter when you can't get outside. So explore crafts. There's so many crafts out there. So many. Or learn a musical instrument. So if you do already play a musical instrument, this will relieve your stress, as you probably already know. If you do not play a musical instrument, it's time to consider learning one. I've learned a couple myself, and there's really nothing like sitting down to a piano. You don't even have to be an expert. You don't have to be the best player. You can just make noises. It really is all about you expressing yourself through a musical instrument, making the sounds. So that alone will relieve your stress. Listen to wind chimes. So I wanted to talk about a particular type of wind chimes here. Although the regular wind chimes can work, but there are certain wind chimes that are so beautiful that I can't believe they're really more like a musical instrument. They are used in Reiki. The ASMR person that I follow on YouTube plays these wind chimes a lot. So I'm going to forget the names of both of them. One of them I believe is called Kashi wind chimes. I might be wrong on that, but Google musical wind chimes. That might help you to find them. They're expensive though, and they have different ones for the different chakras, so they will have a different a frequency to them. The next one on the list is to play with a baby. So if you do not have a baby, maybe you have some friends that have a baby that you can go visit. Playing with a baby is always fun and relieves your stress. Of course, this also works with a pet. The same principle. Animals, babies, they're all really good at stress relief. Have a campfire. So if you are able to, maybe you don't have a space for a campfire, in that case, you could just light the candle, like I said in a previous tip. But having a campfire or a bonfire in your driveway, in your backyard, somewhere, this is another reason why camping is so healthy, because having a campfire, just sitting around a fire, I mean, is there really anything else that's such a good stress reliever? Because, you know, all your cares just go away. You just trance out. And that's what I love about campfires. You just you find yourself staring into the fire. You find your mind going blank. And that's a really amazing trick to relieve your stress, is to do something that wipes your mind out. You know, you're just staring at the fire and you just kind of forget about your problems. Deep breathing. A lot of health experts recommend deep breathing, and this is something I do before I go to bed. The key to breathing in a way that relieves stress is to make your exhale longer than your inhale. So when you inhale, you're telling your body, especially if you do it strongly, like if you do it forcibly, that's stressful on your body. Your body thinks that it's needing to fight or flight. But when you breathe out, breathing out slowly is what puts you into that parasympathetic nervous system where your body is now into a calm state. So there's a lot of different types of breath work that you can do. But like I said, the key here is to make sure that your exhale is longer, and also make sure that you are breathing into your diaphragm, so your stomach should puff out. Adults don't breathe the way we are supposed to. When you watch a child breathe, they breathe with their belly. They don't lift their shoulders up and down. You know, your chest shouldn't be moving that much. Your belly should be moving. So remember those tips when breathing. Go on a technology fast. So what this is basically not using technology for any length of time. This could be for a half an hour, half a day, a whole day, a week, whatever time length works for you. So, I mean, you might not be able to avoid having your phone around, because you might need to have access to your phone for emergencies or to keep an eye on your kids or whatever. But if you can, use your phone as little as possible. Also, not sitting and watching TV so much, not having a screen in front of your face for, you know, if you do this a lot, it's going to be hard. So in that case, I would start slowly and just kind of work your way down to smaller amounts, or to bigger amounts, I should say. This is something that will relieve your stress, because a lot of times our stress comes from look at all the emails I have to answer. Look at all the messages that I'm behind on. And oh, it's stressful just thinking about it. So do this if you can. Sing. This is one of my favorite things to do. And of course, you might not have access to a place where you can sing, because maybe you live with people and there's always somebody sleeping, or maybe you live in an apartment. So try to sing maybe where nobody can hear you, either in the car, maybe in the shower. Singing is a great stress reliever. Go to the spa. So I gotta say, I've never been to a spa, but this is the one that most people will think of when they think of, I want to relieve my stress. I'm gonna go have a spa day. So I had to put it on this list because there's a lot of things that they do at the spa, like, I will get into some of them in the rest more in this video, but a lot of things that you can do from home as well. But, going to a spa might just be the thing you need. Get a haircut. So everybody feels better after getting a haircut. And so that's got to be on this list, because maybe that will do it for you. Just getting a little pick-me-up like that. And here is two of the things that they do at the spa, which is manicure or pedicure. whatever you need to do to make yourself feel pampered, to make yourself feel more beautiful. Get a massage. This is another one that they do at the spa, or you can go to a masseuse, a regular place that does massages. These feel great for anybody, most people, I should say. There's probably some people out there that don't want to get a massage, but if you are one of those people that likes massages, then check that out or get more. They usually have packages where they offer cheaper price for more. A Reiki session. This is kind of related to a massage but this is more of an energetic thing. So Reiki is where they run their hands over your body and they manipulate the energy. They, yeah, there's really no other way to put it. They heal you energetically. So that's an option for you too. A gratitude journal. So I mentioned earlier that writing in a journal is really healthy, but I wanted to talk specifically about gratitude journaling because this is a little bit different. So when you do a gratitude journal, you are making yourself think of ways that you are happy, and that is going to relieve your stress. Gratitude journaling is so therapeutic. It's its own separate type of journaling besides just writing what's on your mind because, like I said, you want to find things that you're happy for. This will help your mental health in so many ways. Buy or pick flowers. So, that's kind of self-explanatory. Everybody feels good when they look at flowers, when they smell flowers. So if you need a little stress relief, go buy yourself some or pick some for yourself. Put them in a vase, put them on your kitchen table. The smell and the look is just going to do wonders. And of course, you're also helping to bring nature inside. So bringing nature in is another great way to feel connected to nature when you can't get outside. Volunteer. So this is another example of something that you can do where you are turning your focus outward. Sometimes when we're stressed, we just want to forget about our problems in our life, and maybe we just want to help other people. I've heard it said often that helping other people is the quickest way to help yourself. So get out there and volunteer. Whatever you're feeling passionate about, whatever one of your hobbies is, volunteer doing that. Pick up litter. Of course, this is also a way to volunteer, but you know, just when you're out in your neighborhood, it's a great thing to do because I can't tell you how many times I've driven into a neighborhood and I've seen litter just littered really all up and down the sidewalk, and it was stuck to the fences. The wind was blowing it up into the fence and it just looked horrible. And I would never want to even live in a neighborhood that had litter. So this is another example of where clutter is bad for your mental health. So if you live in a neighborhood that has a lot of litter on the ground, you probably have felt this, you know, that you just live in your mind can't feel safe or calm when you're looking at litter. So litter is like the outdoor version of clutter. So always pick up litter when you see it and do the world a favor. Inspirational videos. I love these so much. So these don't have to be full-length movies or TV shows, any type of inspirational video. I really like YouTube for this. This is another, I'll say guilty pleasure, but it's not really, it's a good thing, you know? Everybody should watch videos that are good for you. And I talk about this a lot, where it's basically all about positive content. The more positive content that you can bring into your life, whether you're reading it or listening to it, that's going to help to reduce your stress. Affirmations. This is another one that's good because you're inputting positive words into your brain, and so that's going to relieve your stress too. Trampoline or a rebounder, these are kind of the same thing, but the trampolines that you're probably thinking of are those big ones that sit outside. But you can also get mini trampolines, which are called rebounders. So the reason why these are good is because you are making your lymphatic system pump out all of the toxins. It's helping your body to detox. It's helping your blood to be circulated. And all of these things are good for your physical health and your mental health. You will get more blood flow to the brain. Your body will feel more limber and flexible. So I would highly suggest getting a rebounder. They're small. They're easy to pick up and shove to the side if you want to store it. They don't take up a lot of space. They're easy to transport. So I have one of these, and it's just one of my favorite things. Brainwave Entrainment or Binaural beats, these are kind of the same thing. So basically these are videos that you can find on YouTube. Again, I talk about YouTube a lot. I mean, a lot of people use YouTube as mindless entertainment, but I use it as to help me with personal growth, with stress relief. Like I said, like this is sound therapy, basically. So it's going to put your brain into the alpha state, which is the state that you're in right before you fall asleep. It's the state that you're in when you're sitting on the couch watching a show. You're going to be in that calm, relaxed, like a trance state. So binaural beats is a similar thing where there's two different beats or frequencies happening in each of your ears, and you're meant to wear headphones for this. So each of your ears is picking up one type of beat or frequency, and the other is doing another, and your brain compensates for the difference by creating a whole new frequency. That's the best I can explain it. It's a very scientific thing, but basically it's good for your brain. So check these terms out. Go on YouTube and Google and search for brainwave entrainment or binaural beats. You'll find some good stuff. Swing. So this is something that I even love to do, even though I'm 49 years old. One of the funnest things I've ever done in my life was to swing. Growing up, I always had a swing ever since I was a kid, and I could just sit for hours and swing until even after dark. I would still be on that swing listening to my music. So not only is swinging good for you physically, because your body it's almost the same thing as a trampoline, only instead of going up and down, you're going front to back. And also, you're outside, so what a great way to relieve stress. And also, you know, don't feel bad if you're an adult, because they make swings for adults, and most parks have swings for adults and kids. So hop on there and have a good time. And the last one, we're on the last one here, and that is to just veg out. So, vegging out can be so many things, and it might just be sitting down and not doing anything. You're not going to focus on meditation. You're just going to sit down and look around. Maybe do that present moment exercise, you know, where you look at something, you find something that you can see, you find something that you can hear, you find something that you can feel. Taste and smell isn't always applicable, but basically you're grounding yourself in the present moment and just taking a break. Vegging out. Vegging out is so healthy. And many people, they might find that if they don't do this, their body will force them. You will have burnout. You will have a nervous breakdown. You will, you know, you're going to need to call in sick and just not do anything. So take the time out of every day to just veg out, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Maybe even set the timer, because what you just want to do is allow yourself, you need to give yourself permission for this. And then, you know, you're going to enjoy it better, and you're not going to feel guilty. The key here is you're giving yourself 5 minutes and you're not going to feel guilty about it. So if you liked these stress relief ideas, I actually have something. I have a printable stress relief workbook on Etsy that has all of these ideas plus other things. So if you're interested in getting this is a printable thing. So you download it and print it off. There's 14 pages total. So here's some other pages. There are stress relieving journal prompts. There is a gratitude journal page. There is a body, mind, and soul self-care checklist. So I mentioned a couple times in this video how important journaling is, especially gratitude journaling. So this workbook comes with some pages that you can do for this. And then some, of course, self-care checklists. Self-care is the foundation of keeping yourself mentally well, I believe. And sometimes even physically, because a lot of self-care practices are for your body. So there's a couple other things in there. Here are the stress relief ideas that I went through in this video. So in this workbook, you can print these off. You can print them on sticker paper and cut them out and use them as stickers. It's a fun little creative way to use them in your journal or your planner. There's also coloring pages. You might have heard of adult coloring pages. These are one of the most relaxing things that you can do as an adult. You don't have to be a child to enjoy coloring. I just love it. And then there's also some favorite activities lists. Here you can do movies, books, and songs. Just some fun things to get your mind off of your stress. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're interested in this printable stress relief workbook, the link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching.